The agent of socialization we chose is Total Institution of Prison. In this institution, there are many problems that exist. However, a major issue of prisons are gangs. Inside of jails, many gangs form for different reasons. For example, race, age, and backgrounds. They also form because of the culture that exists within the institution.
These gangs form because of culture inside the jail. Inmates are more likely to be in gangs to gain respect within the group. Many find it hard to survive if they're not in a gang.
Before entering the gang, inmates are confronted with the social dilemma of looking-glass self. Because of this idea, they start to think of themselves as a bad person, and nothing can be done to save them. They feel worthless. Thus, they feel obligated to commit crimes and are vulnerable to joining gangs. With them being in jail, the inmates become isolated from their families and other close relationships. They look towards gangs to fill this role and become a family to them. The next video shows how these families are very committed to each other.
The inmates behind the bars of this Texas prison have spent the better part of their lives trying to kill each other.
I've seen a dude get stabbed 3 times, not 20 feet away from him.
Now, older and tired, they want out of the violent world of prison gangs. 33-year-old Brian Aiken of Fort Worth says he wasted more than half of his life as a member in the racist Aryan Circle prison gang. Aiken covered his body with the gang's Nazi swastika tattoos.
My mom never seen this until she come and visit me in 2002 on McConnell. First thing she did was go. It just shook her head.
Now they are in protective custody at the Ramsey 1 prison located south of Houston. A special program teaches inmates how to start a new life outside prison gangs. Until a few weeks ago, these inmates were kept locked inside a prison within a prison. You would have never found a cell door left open like this. They were considered the worst of the worst, members of Texas' most violent prison gangs. Jesus Valverde wanted out so bad that he literally tried to scrape off his gang tattoo.
I had to do a hit on another inmate, so I started realizing if I did that, I was going to stay here a lot longer. So I started thinking about my family and the world, and they need me more than the family I was with here in this gang.
Nearly 10,000 gang members make up a small percentage of the Texas prison population, but they cause 85% of the crime inside.
It's absolute insanity.
48-year-old John Murray was the co-founder and now ex-member of the Aryan Brotherhood. Because of his past gang association and escape attempts, Murray has spent most of his 24 years alone in a small, high-security cell.
They didn't have computers when I was in the free room. I had an 8-track tape player, okay? The world has moved on.
This is a picture gang members do not want their members to see. An ex-Aryan Circle member at peace with an ex-Mexican Mafia member.
A few weeks ago, your gangs want you to kill each other. Here you are sitting side by side.
Once you get to know somebody, you really learn something.
You begin to open your eyes that it's not worth it.
Joe Morales says the gangs convince young first offenders they need to join for protection and then use them to carry out hits.
He gets a life sentence and ends up has to do 35 years, 40 years, or whatever before he even comes up for parole. Either he comes out an old man or he don't come out at all. And all he came down with was a 5-year sentence.
Tell us what we're going to work on today.
The program teaches the ex-gang members everyday problem-solving tools that they missed growing up. 48-year-old Jose Lopez was the founding vice president of the Mexican Mafia. Lopez long ago renounced his membership.
Should they be afraid about trying to get out of a prison gang?
Oh, sure. I mean, once, you get out, well, you're marked by the gang for extermination.
The gangs say it's blood in, blood out, that you only leave the gang in a pine box. Dozens upon dozens of inmates like Jose Lopez are proving that blood oath is wrong. Robert Riggs, CBS 11 News, from inside the Ramsey 1 prison.
Within these relationships, gang leaders take an authoritative role and gang members become the disciples. Members are expected to do whatever is asked of them. This social hierarchy is a huge part of gang culture. as members are looking for father figures that they never had in real life. As members join these gangs, they begin to re-socialize and become brainwashed. They believe what others want them to believe and do what others want them to do. Their family and their normal life mean nothing to them anymore, and the gangs consume their entire lives. The formation of gangs has led to a change in the jail environment. In order to stop gang fights, the inmates have to completely isolate themselves from association with other inmates, as also mentioned in the video shown before. In the end, is prison really working? Some solutions that we discussed would be to separate inmates based on race and background. If inmates of similar races or backgrounds are separated, then gangs would be less likely to form. We also discussed having some type of a rehabilitation program for gang members. This will give them the skills they need to go back into the real world and get jobs. This will also give them some hope that they could actually have a future.
Any moment somebody can take your life for anything.
All these weapons are made to stab somebody or to have somebody stabbed. Some of the weapons that are confiscated here at Folsom Prison. For example, this weapon here was used on our main yard. You can still see the blood on it. And this was the actual called hit from one of the gang members. That means an inmate who we call a shot caller asked an inmate or told an inmate to stab somebody. A lot of our aluminum pieces are found inside our dining room area. They're cut from there. We have plastic weapons that are utilized here. Plastic spoons, styrofoam cups, combs, and Ziploc bags.